Yeah, 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 yeah. We love you, lost. We love you, Arsenal. We do. We love you, Arsenal. We do. Hey, we love you, Arsenal. We do. Oh, Arsenal, we love you. La 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 la. La 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 la. Basa, Basa, Basa. What a beautiful weekend I'm having, folks. I hope that your team did collect some victories this weekend, and I hope that you are in a good mood like we are. If you support Arsenal, if you support Barcelona FC, I hope that you are in a celebratory mood that we are in right now because both of my clubs pulled some important victories, key that we needed. For example, Barcelona yesterday pulled a magnificent victory in the 93rd minute against Girona, ahead to next week's Clasico against Real Madrid, who's yet to play their game today. It will be done in a couple of hours. I'm not going to pay attention to that because my main focus is on the Clasico next weekend. But as for the Arsenal FC, I'm seeing a transformation in this football club. My opinion is starting to rotate a little bit. The jury is still out on Mikel Arteta. Okay? I'm not going you know me. I'm anti Arteta. I will never change my opinion. But with the results I'm seeing now from Arsenal, games that were lost a season ago by this football club, now the Gunners have found ways. They have found ways to collect these dubs. So we have to be mindful that Arsenal has officially changed their ways and their habits on collecting W's that were draws and losses last season. And games like Newcastle United, West Ham, and Fulham. Newcastle last year was a loss. West Ham United last year was a loss, and these were all losses that were at the Emirates. And now Arsenal are executing teams. Remember that good old song that we used to sing back in the Arsene Wenger, George Graham era? I was not there during the George Graham era, but I was definitely there in the Arsene Wenger era, in the midst of it, because when he started to coach the club in 1996, I was a puppy. I was not exposed to English football as I was until 1999 and 2000. I was more, well, I was trained by my family to watch Italian football and French football and Spanish football, mostly Italian football in my household because of my uncles. But when I became a real gunner, but a Barcelona guy and a real gunner, but Barcelona was more like 2001 because of Ronaldinho's transfer, and the Gunners 2000, I would say, after Euro 2000, I became a real Arsenal fan, but I still didn't know what was going on until 2002 with that damn JVC jersey. And I remember Arsenal had this blue jersey when Thierry Henry scored at Volley at Upton Park against West Ham United. Long time ago. No, when they had the O2 jersey, the O2. That's when I really started to become a gunner. But the thing is, let's fast forward to 2022, 23, 24. Arsenal has made tremendous progress under Mikel Arteta. I'm not your fan, but I appreciate the work your coaching staffs are doing because I know you're not doing all this by yourself. Big respect to the new addition, Gabriel Heinze, the Argentine, ex-Marseille player, ex-Manchester United player. Uh, Big up to the entire Arsenal faculty, from the medical staff, keeping the players fit. Now, if you see a player getting injured at Arsenal now, it's because he probably had the injury from an international game that they picked up, or, but no longer that players like are having chronic injuries that prevent them from having more than 6 weeks, with the exception of the Carl Harvard situation. That's a special thing because apparently Carl Harvard should be back in training now because the reason on episode vlog 7 today I want to bring the issue of Carl Harvard's up is because there is an old saying that said you don't know what you have until it's gone. And I'm going straight into the Victor Gyökeres affair because we spent a lot of money on this striker. And as I was watching yesterday, I had to wake up early to watch Barcelona play at 10:15 a.m. Took a nap for about 30 minutes before the Arsenal versus Fulham game. That's my life because I'm all about that coolers and that Gunners life. So I have to be up for these two clubs because Napoli, I watch them, but not as intense as I do Barcelona and Arsenal football clubs. I have to be focused on these two clubs because these are the clubs of my heart and I have to be in it. But the Victor Gyökeres situation, for those of you who follow the Premier League and La Liga, can you guys like whenever you do your own podcast? I would strongly encourage you guys to do so. I want to know how many goals Wood Van Nistelrooy scored back in 2001 because when I was watching Manchester United in 2001, when Wood Van Nistelrooy came to Manchester United at 26 and a half years old. I believe this was the season where Ruud had about 30 goals from the Dutch league, PSV Eindhoven to be precise. So, I are you telling me that the 2001 Dutch league is more powerful than the Portuguese league nowadays? Some people would say, yes, it was. Me, I would say, I beg to differ. Why is this? 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, the Portuguese league had Porto, Sporting Lisbon as the power household. And Benfica, with Nuno Gomes, at that time was a striker, was third place, second place, third place. Under the management of Jose Mourinho, 2002, 2003, 2004, FC Porto from the Stadio do Dragão, Dragon Stadium, reached the final and won the Champions League. Now, Victor Gyökeres was the fast forwarding to 2022, 2023, and 2023 and 24. Victor Gyökeres was the main striker in that league, scoring a whopping 97 goals in 100 something odd matches. Now, after he got his transfer move to Arsenal Football Club, funny because the striker Manchester United have now, Benjamin Sesko, was supposed to go to Arsenal. Gyökeres was supposed to go to Manchester United, if I'm not mistaken. Funny how both strikers are struggling at these two systems. Benjamin Sesko have not scored more than 3 goals since being at Manchester United from August to October. Gyökeres have scored 2 from penalty spot, 1 header, and a strike, so that gives him about 4 to 5 goals. Could it be that both players are struggling because they are in a system that I believe that Victor Gyökeres would have scored more goals if he was playing for Manchester United, and I believe that Benjamin Sesko would have scored more goals if he played for Arsenal. But to get back to Wood Van Nistelrooy, back then, the quality of a striker, like a Wood Van Nistelrooy, a Thierry Henry, a Jimmy Floyd, look at the nose here. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank at Chelsea, a quality striker like Louis Saha from Fulham, even the young Wayne Rooney at Everton when he was like 17, 18-ish. These guys are exceptional, were exceptional. Now, I'm not saying that modern day footballers don't have the same quality. Victor Gyökeres is my guy because he played for my childhood club. He played for my club, Arsenal Football Club. It's like Bobby Lewandowski at Barcelona, our striker. Now, Mikel Arteta was asked at the press conference after the Fulham game, why is your striker not scoring? Arteta said, well, he did try. And I watched the game. I don't know if it's bad luck or if he's anxious because he's been in the league before. He's concerned of what the media will say about him. Don't forget that he did play for Coventry in Division 2. He did play for Brighton Albion in the Premier League before he went to Portugal. I believe in the pandemic he scored 1 or 2 goals for Brighton. Not a stellar record in the Premier League. So Victor Gyökeres technically don't have the experience in a league like the Premier League who's fast paced. And if he did play in La Liga, he would have struggled the same because La Liga, if you think the English league is crazy, go watch La Liga like I do. Go watch El Calcio, where these teams are technical as hell. I was watching Villarreal versus Real Betis yesterday, a 2-2 game. Shout out to Anthony who scored a brace in that game. It's the little things. This is where the Spanish clubs beat some of the clubs in the other leagues. It's the little things. For example, Barcelona had to struggle against Girona to get 3 points yesterday. It's the little things. So Gyökeres, we have to give him time. Is it concerning? Yes, it is concerning that a main striker like him is not voted the best striker in Europe, is not scoring for Arsenal Football Club as he should. Me, I'm gonna start to criticize Victor Gyökeres. Inshallah, if we make it to, if God willing, if we make it to, if I'm alive from January 2026, in the second half of the season, if this man does not reach more than 10 goals, I'm gonna be on his ass. But right now, is he still adapting to the league? I don't know what's going on in this man's head, but one thing I do know for sure that he's trying hard. He knows how to lead the line as a striker. Very strong, very powerful, just like Benjamin Sesko, except he's 27 years old. Yesterday, Victor had about 4 shots on goal against Fulham. And big respect to the ex-gunner Bernd Leno, who stopped them every time he had that one-on-one chance. So it is a matter of, now I see him shooting on target, which is a good sign. But I'll be more satisfied when Kai Havertz returned, because last year around this time, Kai Havertz was banging. He had about 12 to 13 goals. So remember what I said. You don't know what you have until it's gone. Right now, I'm crossing my fingers, waiting for the return of Kai Havertz at this football club so he can boost us up. Now we got this 3-point lead over Manchester City, 4 points lead over Liverpool, who lost today to Manchester United. Big shout out to Harry Maguire, the refrigerator. I'm happy. Top of the league in England, top of the league in Spain. I couldn't ask for better results, gentlemen. Thank you for making me happy this weekend. Let's go to some result in vlog episode number 12. Let's jump straight to it. I'm going to start with some of the result we had from Saturday. Before I do, I would like to say congratulations to Harry Kane for hitting his 400th goal for Bayern Munich. Well, at his career. While playing for Bayern Munich, he hit 400th goal. A hell of a tally for a striker. Last of his kind and his generation nowadays. So yesterday we had, I'll start with the Premier League. Brighton Albion beating Newcastle United 2-1, respect to Brighton. Burnley surprisingly beating Leeds 2-0. Crystal Palace 3-3 against Bournemouth, an exciting draw. City move up to second, 2-0 against Everton. Sunderland beating Wolves 2-0. Fulham losing to Arsenal 1-0. And the Serie A. Inter Milan beat Roma 1-0. Napoli lost to Torino, shocking result 1-0. In La Liga, Sevilla lost to Mallorca 3-1. Barcelona beat Girona thanks to Capitan Ronald Arroyo in the 93rd minute to seal the 3 points to send Barcelona top of Real Madrid by a point before El Clasico. Villarreal 2-2 against Real Betis, and Atletico Madrid with a boring 1-0 over Osasuna. I want to give a big respect to Mason Greenwood, the Englishman, English born but Jamaican parents. Mason Greenwood, the ex-Manchester United player, with a quadruple against Le Havre yesterday, 6-2 by Marseille. Young man, pat yourself on the back. Manchester United made one of the biggest mistakes letting you go. But it is what it is. Who jobless, no man's curse, and you are proving them wrong in France. Big respect to Mason Greenwood. And Bundesliga, we had some exciting results. Leipzig beating Hamburg 2-1. Stuttgart beating Wolfsburg 3-0. And of course, in the Die Klassiker, Bayern München beat Borussia Dortmund 2-1. Goal by Michael Olise. And of course, the first one being scored by Harry Kane. And Turkey, Galatasaray beat Başakşehir 2-1. Trabzonspor against Rizespor 2-1. And then of course Besiktas taking this surprising loss to Gençler Birliği. And today's result we had in the Serie A, says Fabregas respect. Me, I'm voting you as the young manager of the year for this season. 2-0 over Juventus. Atalanta drew Lazio. 2-0 for Bologna over Cagliari. And AC Milan playing Fiorentina as we speak. When I left my crib, it was 0-0, and I hope that Fiorentina snatched a point at the San Siro. In La Liga, we had a 1-1 draw against Sociedad versus Celta Vigo, and Levante lost to Rayo Vallecano 3-0. And of course, the Real Madrid game has to play. But if you place in bets, just know that Real Madrid will win this game because why? They have to get the dub before El Clasico, so it's a must-win for them today. And then that's pretty much it when it comes to the vlog episode number 12. And I will give you guys a little tip for tomorrow's game, West Ham versus Brentford. If you're placing bet on this game, go +1 Brentford, +2 Brentford against West Ham United. They will go to the Olympic Stadium and get a draw out of West Ham United. I don't know how Bruno will set up his team, but Brentford with their striker Igor from Brazil is very dangerous right now. And do not be surprised if Brentford draw or even beat West Ham United 1-0 or 2-1. So as the underdog tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, go with Brentford +1, +2. And as for La Liga, there will be a game at also 3 p.m. tomorrow. Deportivo Alaves welcome Valencia. Put the money on Valencia. I would say 1-0 Valencia, 2-1 Los Che. And again, that's it when it comes to, before I close, I would like to address this when it comes to Arsenal fans. We are top of the league, but let's cross our fingers and pray for better result because the next 5 games will be challenging for Arsenal Football Club. This is where I want the club to focus. Collect as many points as you can from now, November and December. My wish for Arsenal to win this league. Arsenal need to go back to the classic. Apply the philosophy of Sir Herbert Chapman. We are no longer the Arsenal that we used to be when it comes to fear factor. People are licking their chops right now going, ooh, you are top of the league, huh? Arrogant Arsenal Football Club. So they're going to try to copy and paste the same template they've used over the last 3 years to backtrack us into being second or third. Be boring as you were yesterday against Fulham FC. Next 5 games, if Arsenal win 4 out of 5, 1-0, I'll be satisfied. And I would like Mikel Arteta to start Zubimendi in every single game. Because this guy is probably 40% the reason why we are pulling these boring wins. Shut it down, control the pace, and keep it simple. We are on a good track. And if we do have an 8 to 10 point lead, just like Liverpool had last year, I do believe April and May 2026, Arsenal will be in the position to win this league. Now, the result of Liverpool versus Manchester United was shocking. Not for me, because if you guys follow me on Twitter, if you guys follow me on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, I did say that do not be shocked if Liverpool lose or draw Manchester United, because why? Every time we have an international break around this time of year, teams like Liverpool, regardless of who they have on the pitch, tend to struggle. Now Arsenal shocked the hell out of me. That's when I know Arsenal in business because Arsenal normally draw or lose a game after these international breaks in October or November. The mindset have changed, folks. Arsenal mean business. Barcelona mean business in Spain. Manchester City, well, 2-0. You got Erling Haaland, top 5 striker in the world. I expect them to deliver. Chelsea, 3-0. Pedro Neto, pat yourself on the back. Now, in this title race that was supposed to be between Arsenal and Liverpool, these were the experts' prediction. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a quadruple header in this title race. It is against the defending champion Liverpool. Second place Arsenal FC. I will ignore the status of Arsenal being top of the league. We are still the second favorite to win the title. Liverpool is the favorite to retain it. But there is a threat. And that threat is no other than Chelsea FC. The work that Enzo Maresca is doing at this club is ridiculous without a recognized, well-renowned striker up front. Chelsea is the dark horse of this year's campaign. Manchester City, I would place him fourth because Kevin De Bruyne is no longer there. When it comes to the central attacking midfield, they are struggling, folks. If Haaland get hurt, City is done. But the real threat to me, before I close this vlog episode number 12, is look out for Chelsea FC. They are the most dangerous football club in this quadruple title race. Remember I said this, mark the date and mark the time I said it. And that's all for my football report. And until next week, congratulations to Arsenal again. Congratulations to FC Barcelona. Respect. You guys made me really happy this week. Deuces. Alla proxima. Mañana.